Asmongold begs his chat to stop criticizing Israel and claims it's a distraction from Trump's amazing presidency.
These people are actual goyim, and you've been convinced that Israel is your biggest enemy, while you side with other people that want to ethnically and demographically replace you in a different way, and you think that they're on their side. That's what's happening to you, and you're being played for a fool. You've been poison pilled, and do you know why? It's because you're winning. It's because you're winning astronomically. You're completely destroying every one of their designs. You have totally removed the idea of, genital mutilation for children because they've been psyoped by their parents to think that they're the opposite gender.
Yeah, this was a real thing that was happening all the time. I'm glad that it's been destroyed. Hey, I know you can't pay rent, and I know you will have to probably take on a second gig economy job from an American Silicon Valley tech firm, and you're never going to make ends meet. You're never going to have a family, but you're winning. You're winning so hard. Why? Because Donald Trump made it illegal for transgender athletes to participate in the NCAA. That's a pivotal accomplishment. You're winning super hard, dude. Sure, it cost an arm and a leg to keep up with your groceries and keep up with your bills, but you're winning. Why are you winning? Because we're owning the libtards. Also, it's perfectly cool and normal and valid to have to sign a document that says you will never disavow the beautiful nation state of Israel if you want to keep your job. It's good. I love signing loyalty pledges to Israel so I can be a school teacher in the state of Texas. Why would you ever say that that's strange? Excuse me? What are you, an anti-Semite?
EI has been all but destroyed. You've had all of the pride flags hanging off the White House replaced by muscle cars and motorcycles. You have a UFC fight in front of the White House that the president attends for his birthday.
His position is also my favorite type of guy because he has to maintain anti-Semitic conspiracies because he's like holding on to the Nick Fuentes audience. He'll be like, I'm a funnel for Nick Fuentes. But then he's both going to lean into anti-Semitism, Holocaust denial, while simultaneously talking about how Israel is wonderful and should be considered our most loyal and most reliable ally. He has arrived at the absolute worst mathematical position you can arrive at, and it's awesome. Where he's like, listen, this pariah state that is melting children with American munitions and American tax dollars, that's constantly crying and saying it's literally the Holocaust if they can't blow up another Lebanese village. They're perfectly good. Please, they're good. Why are you even talking about how insane this situation is? Why are you even talking about the fact that all of our politicians across the board, regardless of whether they're Democrat or Republican, doesn't really matter, talk like they got a gun pointed to their head anytime someone calls into question this loyalty oath that they've seemingly all taken to the nation state of Israel, this, emotional support apartheid state that's doing numerous genocides. Why would you talk about that? Well, just stop talking about Israel, please.
You have had a cultural victory that is so massive and widespread that it's caused them to cancel entire TV shows because they're afraid of the backlash. You have completely destroyed them culturally.
Yeah, TV shows are better now. They hit so much harder.
And the only thing that they can do, they know they can't beat you. They know that you're winning. They know that the Chud, the year of the Chud, is so powerful, so they're trying to poison you by fixating on something that's not them. Stay focused. Stay focused, because
there's never been a moment in my life where I have maintained this position that like TV shows are woke now, so that means it's good, and that means we're winning. As a matter of fact, during peak woke, many people might not have known this about me. I routinely railed against the quote-unquote SJW messaging campaigns that hyper-focused on television shows. And I said that this was a byproduct of, being powerless and recognizing your powerlessness, which is why you were choosing to have some semblance of control and some way of feeling as though you have, as though there is an avenue where people are responsive. An institution is being responsive to your needs. It was just Hollywood, right? And I kept explaining to people that this was silly. And a lot of people would get mad at me for that. And I was like, no, the real power comes from actual political organizing, labor militancy, being able to claw back some of your own productive output that you are responsible for, having some autonomy in the workplace, or getting your wishes across to politicians. That is real political power. All this other stuff is bullshit. meant as a distraction to make you feel like you are, actually accomplishing something. Asmongold is now doing the other side of that. It's the reverse SJW. It's the anti-woke SJWs, the injustice, the social injustice warriors. From the social justice warriors to the social injustice warriors, that's precisely what Asmongold's goals are here. Do not focus on material needs. Do not focus on making demands that will change your material reality. Focus on television shows that are now anti-woke. That's idiotic.
They're not done yet. They're not done, and there are still too many of those people in the problem. And I understand you have problems with Israel. But all I'm saying is that those problems should be dealt with after these. Stay on target. They want to distract you with Israel because they don't want you to look at them.
Yeah, no. Guys, please stop focusing on Israel. Please just focus on canceling television shows instead. Look at what the chatter was saying at the start, straight up Nazi. I don't know why it is that it's very common for Jew/Israel to be involved, but they very often are involved for immigrating the third world to destroy and infect Western and Christian culture. It's ironic because that's also, again, wrong and stupid. It is not Jews that are importing the third world or anything like that. There is no international Jewry. There is no organized monolithic Jewry. There is an organized Zionist movement, certainly, and it's not entirely comprised of Jews, ironically enough. There's a much larger number of Christian evangelical Zionists. Having said that, of course, are there pivotal figures in this movement that are Jewish? Absolutely. This guy's name is Klansman. Oh my God. I like that Asmongold is trying to pull his deeply anti-Semitic audience off of this anti-Semitism cliff that they're on by saying, no, you don't understand. We get to do Nazi stuff. It's cool. Just lay off Israel, please. It's awesome. Say it like this. No people, all same. I white, you dumb, I smart. Okay, that's good. Is that good? If I just grunt? Dumb. Ape together, strong. Ape together on class. Ape divided on culture. Do not divide on culture. Unite on class. All men are brothers. Was that better? Hopefully this gets through. What is this? I made a present for Asmongold. Make sure.
And I know because I'm one of them.
Now, do you not get deplatformed through all this? I simply, I am a very pragmatic person. I have no problems not saying things or not doing something if I feel like it won't be advantageous for me. So I just simply don't say things that I think will get me in trouble, and until it's okay to say them. That's literally it. You're a good boy? Yeah, I like Nick doesn't do that. Nick says exactly what he thinks, and it's respectable. It is. I don't have any negative about it.
Sometimes you gotta be the villain. Epstein's my boy, dude. Let's just be honest. Epstein was cool as f. There, I said it. What are you gonna do? Go ahead, cancel me.
To me, I view my role as being a more mainstream ally towards this stuff without necessarily spearheading any sort of like real controversial change, because I can't really do that.
You are not ready for that conversation, but Jeff Epstein, not a pedophile, but you're not ready for that conversation. All of his victims, 14 to 17. That's not pedophilia. But y'all niggas ain't ready for that conversation. People say that's normalizing pedophilia. No, that's defining pedophilia.
It would compromise my position. That's the reason. I'm a funnel. Yeah, I kind of do that. Yeah, like a funnel in a way. So that's the reason why I do most things that I do are like there's reasoning behind them. You have your Wayne for sure. Yeah, I do.
And then we got the white quarter zip, white Epstein quarter zip, causing a lot of consternation among the disabled, the dumb, the disabled, cognitively impaired. Epstein quarter zip. Let them know you fuck with Epstein. Yeah, we fuck with Epstein. I like people that aren't retarded. I like people that aren't hospitalized right now. I like people that don't lie that they're not Jewish when they really are.
He also said his mom used to watch your show before she passed.
Really?
Hands emoji.
Well,
that's true.
100
Yeah, what a nice guy. Yeah, I appreciate it, Nick. And yeah, I remember walking in, my mom was listening to Nick, and this is like back in the day. This is like 2020, 2021, right? And so, yeah, she was in it. She was in on it on the ground floor. And
hey, properly aged, like wine. Women don't age like wine, they age like milk. They don't age like wine. That's not how their hormones work. That's not how they work. Yeah, I gotta find my 16-year-old wife.
What do you say? It's cool, man. Asmon dad watched me. But yeah, these are the guys who are like, Asmongold is not a particularly clever orator or a decent propagandist, because he's just like watering down shit that he sees on his Twitter timeline, right? He's just like basically rehashing tweets that he reads off of his timeline. He doesn't actually have, I mean, he has right-wing opinions, obviously, that much is clear, but he doesn't have the capacity to push for these values on his own. All he can do is just like respond to stimuli. And that's the reason why he keeps going back and forth on the Israel stuff. Like one day he'll lean into anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, and then the next day he'll be like, while I do genuinely appreciate people like Nick Fuentes for all the bold advocacy that they're doing that I agree with, at the same time, we got to stop talking about this Israel stuff. It's inconsistent as long as he keeps saying like, no, these wokes are actually ruining your life. Think about the culture war. Think about the culture war. As long as he hits those lines, then it's fine. Austin McNamara, also known as Gremlo, had an interesting take. Said, Zach isn't nearly as articulate as his right-wing media peers or even the lib media talking heads, but all three apply the same aesthetic-focused approach. Neither UFC cage fights or pride flags of the White House materially improved anyone's lives. We have to break free from this cycle. And it's my point as well. A lot of this stuff is not actually improving your life in a meaningful manner. It's just making you feel like you are getting some kind of change that you desired. And that change can only be reflected on by owning your ideological opposition, right? Owning the libs or owning the cons. That's all people care about because they've completely given up on advocacy for healthcare, or they've completely given up on protesting for certain things and certain things like, ending American militarism and focusing on ourselves and maybe improving our infrastructure, improving broadband, improving access to the internet, improving our schools. We've given up on all of that. We can't do anything about that because capitalism is this unchangeable system that is impossible to tackle, impossible to chip away at. So all we give a shit about is owning our interlocutors. Oh, is Asmongold feeling owned because the titties in video games are smaller? Well, then, good. I feel better because I hate that guy. Oh, is Hassan getting mad that trans people can no longer participate in competition? Good. That makes me feel good. That's literally all people have. And that is a big part of what these slop tubers do in terms of breaking the brains of the youth